Hey, this is a response to Jesus Freak 777's video entitled "Tiny Sins Make You Burn in Hell for All Eternity?" Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the video. Jesus Freak answers that question in the affirmative, claiming that because the Christian God is infinite, then sins against the Christian God must also be infinite and therefore infinitely punished. There's a link to Jesus Freak's video to the right of the screen, quite apart from the dubious proposition that it makes ontological sense to say that the Christian God is infinite. On this issue, have a look at Eightfootmanchild's very intriguing most recent video on the absence of a coherent ontology for this being people call God, linked to the right of the screen. I'd like to cast a biblical gaze on Jesus Freak's argument. In order for the Christian God to be sending people to hell for their sins, he must be keeping a record of these people's wrongdoing. But that flies in the face of what the Bible says about God. Let's have a look. In 1 John 4:8 it says, God is love. The Greek word translated into English as love is agape. Whatever does it mean to say that God is agape? Well, in the 13th chapter of 1 Corinthians, Paul sets out to define agape, the love that the Christian God is. Paul tells us that agape is patient, it's kind, it's not jealous, and so on. The part of Paul's definition of agape that is relevant here is found in verse 5. Love, Paul tells us, keeps no record of wrongs. There's no equivocation in Paul's statement. Keeping a record of wrongs is something love, agape, does not do. As the New American Standard renders it, quote, love does not take into account a wrong suffered. The God Jesus Freak describes in his video can't be the same one described in 1 John 4:8 and 1 Corinthians 13:5. Now, Jesus Freak's God is all about keeping records of wrongs, taking into account wrongs he has purportedly suffered because people sin. John and Paul are quite clear that the God who is love can't be doing that sort of thing. Love keeps no record of wrongs. And so we're left with the problem of whom to believe. Or put another way, the problem of identifying who's gotten it wrong here. On the one hand, there's Jesus Freak's God, who very much does keep a record of wrongs. This, it would appear, is the God of Revelation 20:12, who we're told will one day crack open books filled with records of people's wrongdoing, records by which this God will judge people. And then there's the other God, the one of 1 John 4:8 and 1 Corinthians 13:5, the God who is love itself and therefore keeps no record of wrongs because, after all, love doesn't do that kind of thing. It's not that love keeps the record and then gets rid of it. No, love just doesn't keep that sort of record at all. So which is it then? The God who does keep a record of wrongs, or the God who doesn't? It can't be both. I'm sure someone can straighten this all out. Thanks.